All right, let's take another example here. Let's look at number 6 on the worksheet. Again, we're solving quadratic equations. So when I solve, first I need to factor, then we'll find out what n will equal. But first we factor. When we factor, we have to make sure our equation is set equal to 0, meaning everything needs to be on the same side. And now we look at this problem and you think, oh, I should move n squared because that's only moving one thing. But we always want the highest variable, or the variable with the highest exponent, to always be first, and we always want it to be positive. So rather than moving n squared to the right, we're going to move negative 18 and negative 9n to the left. So we're going to do the opposite and add. And that will give me n squared plus 9n plus 18 equals 0. Noticing again how I put 9n first, because we always want to make sure that it's in order from biggest to least with variables, and then we put the numbers on the end. So, looking at this problem, I don't see any greatest common factor I could take out. It's still a trinomial, so let's go ahead and make the x factor chart. All right, now we got to figure out what goes on top. Again, we put the invisible 1 in front of n and multiply it times 18. 1 times 18 is 18. And 9 would go on the bottom because 9 is b, or the middle coefficient. So what's the right combination that multiplies to give me 18 but adds to give me 9? 6 and 3 would be that combination. So 9n gets split into 6n and 3n when I rewrite. So n squared plus 6n plus 3n plus 18 equals 0. Let's factor by grouping. So I group the first two terms and the last two terms. N is what I can factor out of the first parenthesis, so I get n plus 6. And the second parenthesis, I can factor out of 3, and it's a positive 3, so that's why I wrote the plus. And I'm left with n plus 6. So the parentheses match, that's what we want, and we write that once. And then n plus 3, what's left over, gets wrote outside. Now that we factored, because of the zero product property, we just had each piece equal to 0. So n plus 6 equals 0, and n plus 3 equals 0. Solving n plus 6 first, to get n by itself, we subtract 6. And that will give me n equals negative 6. We subtract 3 from the second one, and we get n equals negative 3. So those are my two answers, and that is how I solve this quadratic equation.